We are recording now, right?
Yeah.
Hello again. Everybody's here. I want to thank you first from myself and from Frederick as well, for you to find time to come on this Zoom, to have this interaction related to a topic. I'm gonna introduce myself like you never heard about me, right? Because sometimes ago, let's say a year ago, nobody even knew in this dry fasting group who was Albina is, and it's fine for me too. Oh, we have somebody else to join. Great. As people are joining, I'm gonna just go over introducing myself. My name is Albina. Most members of dry fasting group probably know me as somebody who was arranging all the retreats for Svetlana, as well as other speakers from Autonomous Lifestyle. It's another thing that I am passionate about, to bring more awareness into English speaking population in regards to different perspectives of our life. I am myself is a neuro-linguistical programming practitioner within 15 years of experience in that particular area. Finished Russian NLP school and was using it as a base to work with the clients. Wasn't anything relatively to a work, saying it's a work that I'd done. No, it was more for me like something that I was always fascinated about, because I couldn't just capture how it's simple to manage what we want in our consciousness using techniques from NLP. But I didn't know how it's been built. Like, let's say any habits that we have, any feelings, beliefs, how did we build? I knew the technology from NLP perspectives, but it wasn't as deep for me, that knowledge, as after I've finished and complete School of Quantum Psychology, which happened last year. And I went deep into quantum physics and quantum mechanics, which became the majority of my interest and captured me there for up until now. And I don't know what's going to happen next for me, because it's always something new that I'm coming across and starting to get into something, always to expand my knowledge, and as well as bring this knowledge to whoever I work with. All right, so if you guys can mute your mics, and I will announce a Q&A or whatever question you have. Please make sure you ask if it's related to what I'm explaining. I'm going into my topic in a few seconds. So that's the quantum physics, right? That's my experience with quantum physics, where it came, how it dropped on me and opened up a new world of possibilities. So the topic for the day is my rules, my reality. Why did I choose that particular topic as an introduction of the quantum reality, I would call it, as an introduction of this work that I do, this methodology that I use to work with the people now with any particular request, is the quantum mechanics, quantum physics proved our reality that we have, the way we live, where we are financially, where we are in relationship, where we are health-wise, where we are in purpose, where we are in any other case. It all depends on all beliefs that we have, and we know that. It's nothing new for you. I know you all been there. You know that we build the reality within our experience and beliefs of all the programs. That's fine. How do we do it? And why it's so important to know how we put in place that particular belief that control our reality. Because no matter what you would, no matter what we think, the reality is going to be built within those beliefs and programs that we acquired, right? How? This is interesting question. To answer that question, I bring this always, not analogy, I go into quantum physics. So why it's important to, for me to communicate how we build it, so we can build that bridge in our consciousness. Because if we don't know from physical perspective, for our consciousness, if we don't know how this process works, we are not going to accept how to fix it, how to make difference, how to change it, transform it, how to transform our experience. So for that matter, I always want to make sure you build that bridge, whoever watched this recording, everybody who's here, you understand this from physical perspective, that it's not a belief, it's not a religion that you would want to believe or not, accept or not because it's belief. It's a scientifically proven fact. Now, how do we build it? And that's the magic of quantum physics. So we are matter, right? The same example, the same explanation I give to everybody, because it's so relative to everybody. We are matter. Our hands, we have a skin, we can touch things. We have this computer, or if you have a cell phone, it's also matter. It's a physical matter, right? But that made out of cells, right? Your body made out of cells. Well, the computer made out of atoms and all that technical things. We're going deeper. Okay, our skin, our bones, it's cells. We are made out of cells. That's how we've been created by creator, let's say. Okay, but what is cells is? Cells is atoms. So if we're going deeper into quantum physics, our cells of the body made out of atoms, just everything else, just like that computer or my cell phone, atoms. We go deeper. Atoms still matter, physical matter. It has you can touch it, you can break it apart. But then we're going deeper. And what is atoms? The atoms are made out of subatomic particles. And for those who knows or close or read quantum physics, already know that subatomic particles are no more matter. It's a pure energy. It's not just pure energy, it's a waves of energy, subatomic particles, waves. Okay, so we are kind of flash, we are kind of matter. This is matter. At the same time, it's information. Okay, I'm not going into how this information, how we are as a subatomic particles, which are the waves of information built into the flash. I'm not going into that because it's just gonna bring more terminology of that physicist terminology. I apologize if I said it incorrectly with physics. We know that it's under the supervision. We are kind of that particular person, but when we sleep, are we there? Who knows? Are we really there? Nobody is looking at us, right? Maybe we can be any place at the same time in the place where we are, we think we are. It's just a specific of quantum physics. We are not going to go there. How it's important to know that we are subatomic particles, that we are information. Important that subatomic particles, quantum physics on that deep level, on that microscopical level, has no rules of traditional physics. For subatomic particles, for us as an energy, there is no rules as a traditional physics has. There is no past, there is no future, there is all possible future and all possible past and all past that ever happened in the same time happening here and now within us. So that information that we are, we care all that ever happened to us and all that will happen to us here and now. Okay, then how do we build the reality? All right, let's say you grew up in a family with certain standards of beliefs. And let's say you are from the family where there wasn't ongoing back into relationship, because I see it's important for a lot of people. So I'm gonna talk from the standpoint of relationship today, okay? Let's say that particular person is from the family which got divorced, the parents got divorced when the child was young, okay? So during their parents getting divorced, it's been very hard for a child to adapt the understanding that it's okay. The people getting together, they're getting divorced for a reason, many reasons that could be experienced. I'm not going in there. I go in that particular, every single thing, why and how, in a 12-week transformation program that I have that will launch in at the end of May. So it's just too much to explain, but it's fascinating how it is. But we're not going to do it here. Now, that parents of that child got divorced, right? So the child had the drama from growing up that their parent got divorced, right? But sometimes I don't want you to think from adult perspective, from conscious perspective, that everybody get divorced, a lot of people, it's so normal. I want you to go with this example from the feeling standpoint. It's hard on any child when the parents get divorced. And if you are from that family which got divorced, parents got divorced, you would know how hard it was for you when you were a child and your parent got either separated or divorced, okay? So it's a lot of drama for a child. That experience creating, okay, should I go into that quantum physics again? So that experience gonna impact the child growing up, so creating different dynamics, creating loyalty. It's different, it's also very deep. I don't know if we should talk about it right here. I can explain and go into any section that is not clear for you guys. Just ask me, all right? So that child will recreate this particular pattern when that child will be adult. That child will get divorced. And if that child not going to get divorced, something will happen if that child ever created the family. Okay? Either the family will be absolutely broken pieces, the parents are separated. In real life, you can see it's a family from the view of observer, but within the family, there is no family, you call, okay? Because the child doesn't have the experience of having that solid, complete family. Not consciously, feelings, okay? If you want to ask me, so what? That child has no option to have a happy relationship? I'll tell you, no, the child doesn't. And if you ever went through divorce, your parents went through divorce, you probably know how hard it is to build a stable, complete family relationship. And you probably struggle to do it if you have a relationship, if you are in a family, okay? Why is that so? I'll go through recommendations as well. Why is that so? Are we interested in why is that so? Give me some feedback so I know we are good going. Awesome. Why is that so? Because going into quantum physics, I'm gonna tell you ahead of time, we are going into quantum physics. Because if I'm going from perspective of quantum physics, that wave of energy that with a certain impulse, with a certain frequency of energy, that wave of subatomic particles that is within that particular child went through a whole feelings, right? So let's say, again, going back into yesterday explanation, let's say this is wave of energy from one point to another, right? That's how it was prior to the experience. My parents trying to reach me. Prior to that divorce, prior to that burden that happened, to that memory. So prior to that, it was all fine. The child was complete, feeling in integrity, right? Feeling that the child is a part of mom and part of dad, all is good. Divorce happened, new reality, boom. What happened? Now the flow of energy not going the same way no more. There is no option for subatomic particles to move from one point to another normal, because in the middle of the road is a hole. That particular experience, that where is inner integrity, no more completion, the parents get divorced, it's too hard for child to come to digest this, right? So the child can't express the feelings because parents are too 99% parents going through a lot of drama on their own during this process. And the child would be the last who they would think of. Yes, of course, consciously they would think to make a point, talk to a child from time to time, but the child within their feelings, within their subatomic particles, energy feelings, they would feel at this point, mom is struggling, she's going through a tough time. I need to be strong to support her. I need to save her. I need to save my dad. I'm not going to show how hard it is. I'm going to lie. I'm going to say I'm fine. It's okay. From their consciousness, but the feelings are not the consciousness. Okay, so what parents do, all right, the child is okay. And they go roll into their stuff. Again, going back to that emotional wave that parents are going through. The child didn't fix that drama, didn't release, didn't accept, has certain feelings. And I'll tell you, they will have feelings that one of the parents left me, even if it's not true. But the feelings you can't change. This is how it is in physics. The child will think, if dad left, if mama got divorced and dad left, he betrayed me, I'm not good enough, etc. Creating that pattern within their brain. Creating the block of energy, certain reality. That this block creates only one possible reality. I don't know how to even show it to you guys. Only one possible reality. If prior to that experience, that child, I'm going to show this child, had many roads, many options, many different possible realities. After that experience, there is only one possible reality. Okay, how come? Because too much emotions being directed, the flow of subatomic particles. What happened when the child goes through emotions? Those subatomic particles crashes one into another here in the middle of that road. They create photons. I'm sorry for my language, I'm trying to explain. They create cells, they create atoms, they create mass, all right, flash. They start to build the flash to capture, to compensate for those feelings, destructional feelings. So this mass is what actually creates that one possible reality. Creating in our informational field only one belief, only one, not only one, a lot of different beliefs related to a family, related to relationship, but the program that direct our creating reality. Everything that ever gonna happen to that child will be from that standpoint of that particular mass that been created, until the child as adult would go through transformation, will go back into the resolving this in the past, releasing the emotions, releasing the feelings, accepting the decision of their parent, understanding that the parent did it not because of child, they love the child no matter what. And then this releasing, this transformation will repair that flow of energy from point A to point B, creating another possibility. Creating another possibility. Why? Because there is no more to accept this particular what happened in the past. So, how to say it? Let's go back in autonomous lifestyle. You remember from speakers, they all say, everybody mirroring us. Whatever we have, whatever people give us, attitude, any action, making us feel certain way, this is because I have it within me. How does it happen? The mirroring neurons. Through the mirroring neurons, there is nothing else nobody can do for us but only react on how we are, on what we have, okay? And when those blockages that happened in the past, that, let's say, emotions that child went through being transformed, it's like a wash. It's like a reversal. So that one reality that child built when this didn't work is no more available because there is no need to learn that lesson. It washes itself. It's cancel itself out. And now you have a whole road of different realities, possibilities. And after that, you can meet somebody who you actually can build a nice family with, and etc. Are you guys follow me? Am I clear enough on the explanation?
Yeah, so what you're essentially saying, Albina, is that while that dissymmetry is there, say for instance, one is going to continually go to the familiar, like the unavailable, the narcissistic, whatever we're talking about. And then when that is symmetrical again, like the flow's there, you can then recognize the healthy option. But prior to that, you haven't recognized the healthy option. Is that?
Yes, no, yes, you are right, on the right path. You are talking, the symmetry, symmetrical wave of reality is a wave of subatomic particles, is from quantum physics. I'm grateful that you brought this up, because I didn't want to go into terminology. But yes, exactly, that what happened, that event that happened in the past create dissymmetry within the flow of energy, right? And that dissymmetry creates only one possible reality. It's like you cannot recognize anything else, like there is not available. It's not available for you to recognize. That's the thing. It's not option for you, because you are learning. I'm not going into why and how it's built up, how the creator made us this way, that we ever experiencing certain experience until we accept that is feelings that we felt, until we released the aggression or any rejection toward anybody within that relationship. What happened, we're gonna meet the same things over and over, and no any other possible way. No way. Because there is, in quantum physics, there is no open reality for that particular to experience anything else, because you are learning this one. Again, I don't know, it's the magic of quantum physics. It's not a magic of quantum physics, but our existence. Quantum physics is just analyzing how it's happened, with so many experiencing that been done, billion experiences, and now it's exponentially growing, exponentially opening a new knowledge within this, within us, how we do it. So yes, see, when the parents got divorced, child received the couple different dynamics. First of all, having family is not cool, not consciously, but the feelings, it hurts. So from the quantum perspective of your subatomic particles, of your energy body, you are not you. That person won't be able to go into a relationship with the acceptance that relationship is great. They would think for some reason it's not for them, consciously. For some reason, they're not ready. Okay? Another dynamic from the same experience is that person might think there is nobody could love me, because whoever will love me will leave me. So I'm not gonna build the relationship because they will leave me anyway. Not from conscious perspective. Consciously, we don't even think anything about it. It was when the person was 5 years old. How consciously they can logically think this way? No way. But that's how informational field holds this information, stores it as an experience, not to have it anymore in the life. Another thing, see, I was talking on the last 12-week transformation, last session, which dedicated to integrity and completion, inner integrity. This is a proving fact. See this. We see the world, our eyes, our biological structure of our eyes is not able to see a 3D world. Our biological structure of our eyes are able to see the world only in 2 dimensions. It's like on a picture. It's like you're looking into the screen. It's all flat. How come we see the world? How come you see me right now as a 3D? This computer is 3 dimensions. All the things around the 3 dimensions, the flowers and etc. How? This is something that our subconscious adds up to 3D to make it 3D. And it can only adds up to 3D all information that is available from our experience. And I gave that analogy. If 100 people been sent to a trip, the same trip in the same bus, flight, whatever you say, every single one of them will experience that trip differently. Every single one will have their own insights and all their feelings toward that from that trip. Why? Because of different experience in their own life, because their three-dimension subconscious created different three-dimension picture. So they don't see anything besides what they experienced in the past. And let's say that somebody broke the leg when they were a child over running toward, like, over the road that was broken with the boulders and all the stuff. And on that trip, even if they don't want, all their life, that's what they do. They always make a note of focus on the road where they're running on or which they're walking on. And no matter what around, they will experience their trip from the perspective of how safe it was because the road was this or the other. Okay? The other person, let's say, had a different experience. The other person, let's say, had an experience of, I brought that up as well, as an artist. They are artists. And they noticed in that trip only what graffiti it is on the walls and on the houses and nothing else around. For them, the road doesn't matter. For them, they're not gonna even remember the road, but their focus will be only on the art because they are artists, or from the family of artists, or maybe they are what are they called? Who creates the projects of the houses, how to build them. So it builds their reality from what they know and nothing else.
Architects.
Architects, right. All right, so we know that. We all know that.
So basically what you're saying is that our parents are the only one that we have to learn from. And if what they teach us, I mean, not intentionally, but what we learn from them is pathological patterns. I mean, so it is imprinted in, hardwired into us. And that's the only thing we know. I mean, subconsciously, because that's how, even as adults, what was imprinted into us, hardwired into us subconsciously. So if the parents had pathological relationships, that's all we know. That's how we that's what we learn, and that's how we function.
Yes, absolutely true. Another thing that's fascinating about subatomic particles, that we have, what is field? Quantum field. Everything is field. Everything, there is no separation from me to this computer, from me to my parents, from me to this house, no separation.
Energetically,
there is no separation. So if the experience that your parents ever received is been impacted them big time and gave them sort of feelings, destructional feelings, or some changed their life. Bankruptcy, somebody died when the child was of the parents, somebody died from their parents. And the drama and the feelings that parent went through, it's recorded in their subatomic particles as an informational field. And it's also in you without you knowing that grandfather who died. And what you received from your parent and
negative energies.
You received that experience. And now you have certain approach in build your reality from knowing that experience as well, without you consciously knowing it. let's say somebody in the third generation prior to me or prior to that person lost money, got complete bankrupt. At the end of the day, they committed suicide. That's absolutely negative explanation. But I want you to understand how deep it is. Third, fourth generation prior to that person, it happened. For some reason, after that happened, it was wealthy. Before that, it was wealthy life of every single generation prior to that. Okay, fourth generation prior to now experienced the bankruptcy, committed suicide because of it, because of the debts and all the stuff. And after that, none of the next generation were able to build back financial stability or success. No matter how they try, no any options for them to do that. How? If we go into a research, if we're going into transformational session, if we do a diagnostic, it's a huge fear to have that financial stability and success. Persons consciously don't realize, but if you do a diagnostic, what money equal to is fear. What money equal to death. What money equal to this. It's all within the beliefs as well that have been passed down. Money is not as important, and it's drama, etc. From that perspective, from that standpoint, person cannot create another reality. Why? Because that wasn't released in their past generation, creating only one way of reality. No any other way, even though it didn't happen to me. I still carry that information, carry that feelings, because there is no past for subatomic particles. I am a part of my parents, and they are part of their parents, and they are part of their parents.
It becomes part of the DNA.
Until
that deep.
Yes, until somebody would be strong enough to stand up and say, I want to go down deep and find why I'm not able to build it. I have all options to do it. I have 2 hands, 2 feet. I have a good mind. Everything should be right. But anything I try is crashing. The business is crashing. My business partners, they are betraying, etc., etc. Why is it happening to me? I want to go deep into it. Understand. And they go deep, and then we do a diagnostic, we do a transformation, realizing it didn't even was part of his experience, but it was recorded within his subatomic particles. And now, as a loyalty to a family line, I cannot live wealthy because it's not safe. I'm stepping into guilt. And that's why I'm gonna throw away this, create the reality where I'm gonna lose money, where I'm gonna have a relationship with a partner who's gonna betray me, who's gonna lie, get that money back. So I would go back into loyalty to my family line. Loyalty is another strong part that holds our experience certain way, just the way that my parents experienced, their parents experienced, their parents experienced.
So all the traumas are in the DNA and sort of the bloodline and sort of.
We kind of not us, honestly. We're not us. Different life, different society, different IT, whatever, like computers now, cell phones new, nothing changed within our beliefs. Deep down, if you go back and you ask, how is my mom's mom was feeling about this or that, the other, it will be similar to what you feel. And the difference is just a different society, different political situation, all that stuff.
But deep inside, like, we need to reset ourselves from all these traumas, from all these bad energies that are already in our DNA, just like you said, at the level of atoms. Like we need to reset ourselves, to clean ourselves
break through to build a new possible reality. Yes.
Clean us.
Otherwise, we're gonna
Transform.
stumble upon over and over and over, and we'll, at the age 80, we would ask why I couldn't do it. I have so much options, but I couldn't break through this pattern.
It's patterns that, yeah.
So the buck stops here with us right now today.
Right. So this is a little bit from quantum perspective, the reality that we build, not even we, but whoever we are. You know what? In quantum physics, all that we are, in quantum psychology, it's one being that keeps reborn and reborn and reborn in different setup within the same family, just until you can finally accept. Interesting theory, but it makes sense.
Not to interrupt, excuse me. That diagnostic that you did yesterday, you know, with the relationship one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's appropriate, but it feels like it would complete like what you were explaining with the relationship stuff. I mean, for any area in life, really.
Any area of life.
What do you mean?
Is there something that we can do?
Pathological relationships, bad relationships, why you keep doing.
Yes, there could be different dynamics. Yes, it could be loyalty to your mom. It's one possibility, not possibility. It's one of the dynamic that takes place if that's the experience of your mom. Second one, how the child felt. At that point of time, how the child felt. And it would be, I'm not good enough. What is the feelings that was explaining, that there is a destructional relationship, toxic relationship. Yes. Am I good enough to have a good one? From that feeling standpoint of me experiencing when the parents were divorced, what is the relationship between the people that they are not just toxic, that
like codependent?
Yes, codependency.
we know
Yes, it's also as a result of the same relationship, because you did not experience, or that person did not experience, the relationship where the mother loved father, accepted the father for who he is. Father loved mother, accepted her for who she is. So what the child was hearing at that point is how mother is bad from a father, and how mother would say about father, how he betrayed, how he. All right, that's create that codependency. That's rejecting myself in the same time. Parents rejected themselves, each other. We are part of the parents. In quantum physics, because we are 23 chromosomes of our mom, 23 from our dad, we create that, not separation within us, but we create that two broken pieces. They can't communicate to each other. I love myself, but I hate myself, you know? I love something about me, but there is so much I can't accept about me. Oh, everybody had that, right? Why? Are you not good enough? For what reason? You are good. Because that's the relationship there. You never been good enough for me. And he would say, you never been good enough and caring for me either. Same. We create the same reality for ourselves.
It's not always that the parents get divorced, but it's their relationships. There's something wrong.
Yes, that's a good point. You know what? You just pointed out, that's not parents only. The feelings that they feel. Okay? Because what child does, first of all, jump into the guilt. Mom, I feel this way. How come I can't be happy? The child was happy prior to that. You would see the child running around on the playground and there is no care. And all of a sudden, child went through such a deep feelings that created that's reality. My mom is sad. I cannot show how happy I am around my mom. I cannot build happy relationship because my mom didn't have a happy one. I will fall into the guilt and punish myself by getting divorced. So I would go back to mom, to a loyalty. This is from the 12 steps, 12 weeks transformation program. It's very logical. It's absolutely logical behind every single thing that we have in life. Either we decided to go to school, either we decided to drop from school, either we decided to get into a relationship, either we got into divorce and we didn't even decide. You know, nothing is just for no reason. Every single step, every single event in your life been done because all that we received.
It's also, I feel it's about neglect. Like the parents were busy fighting and sort of, so you felt you weren't good enough. You took it, children take it personal. Like if the parents don't give them love, they're not worthy of love. They weren't available emotionally. If the parents are not emotionally available to their children, the children develop feelings that they're not worthy of love. It's so complicated to understand where exactly it comes from, but
That's so true. The feelings of that child is very important because when we grew up until that internal conversation turns on, again, quantum psychology, it offers the main number. It's a 5 up until 5 years old. No, I see it's all until the conversation turns on and you feel there is a presence of child was yesterday, but today the child no more my present child because now she because I'm having girl now, because they start to think, they start to pause, and you lose that presence of being with a child, like every second of them being around you. So it's up until 7 years old that child's learning is open for all the possible feelings that the child can experience. It's like a sponge, and we know that. And then from that, it's gonna build the reality. And of course, there is no fault of parents. No. Parents don't do it just to be this way or another way, because the parents are also a child on its own in the past. Most of the time, the parent need that mother too, and they depend on their own child that will be a mother to them.
Yeah.
Which create another dynamic. Broken hierarchy, family hierarchy is very important. How can you build your own family when you give so much energy to support your mother's family or feelings? You can't. In quantum physics, you won't have that subatomic particles to build your own family, because you are supporting, with that energy, you're supporting your mom or your dad. Mm-hmm.
You have to finally separate from your parents, from your from their the patterns of their relationships, from everything. You have to sort of reset yourself.
Yes. That's very awesome note. We do have to go through separation, acceptance and separation. I'm old enough to make those decisions. I'm old enough to live my experience in life. I thank you with gratitude and acceptance for all the experience that you taught me. All of this served me to be alive. because all the programs we know that we have beliefs, they are keeping us safe because that's how they've been able to survive. And by that subatomic particle information that we receive, this is the only way we can survive. Though time changed, we know that, right? I wanted to do some practice for you guys. You know what? We'll do different, not from any 12 steps. We'll do, let me think, we'll do different one. We'll see how good you are within the feelings, trusting your feelings. If you want to close your eyes, because we would need your light trance for this one. You can close your eyes and relax your body. Relax your body and feel with every inhale and then exhale your body, relaxing more and more, releasing the tension of your muscles. Feel the relaxation within your face muscles, your shoulders, chest, feet. With your exhale, feel like a wave of relaxation went through you. Now I want you to open your inner eyes. And I want you to imagine one thing that doesn't work in your life, that you actually end up seeing that reality, that you actually being able to overcome something that's important to you. Or you have that reality that you're striving for. See that as a vision. Inhale, release your consciousness, and with your feelings, just feel that you being able to build that reality that you are striving for. And now I want you to see that reality as a new you in front of you, who was able to have everything that you wished to receive, wished to build in your life. You're looking at yourself who was able to achieve what you wanted to achieve. Inhale. And with your exhale, go into you that successfully build that vision that you wanted to build in your life. Move your awareness to new you that you saw. Feel how it feels to have everything the way you were wishing to have. See yourself in the mirror, how you look. You are from that reality that you achieved everything you ever wished for. Inhale. And with your exhale, see your parents. and feel what changes within you. And if you can't see your parents, then see every reason why you're not able to create your reality that you want to create here and now. See that reason. What would that be for you? Inhale. And with your exhale, go back into you here and now, you today. See two people, maybe. It's you, new you, who received and built a new reality, received everything in life that you wished for. And the reason right next to you why you here now not able to achieve what new you could. Feel what that reason is. And I'm going back into all your parents. Who from the parents you feel you would feel guilty achieving your reality, your desired reality? Who holds you back from that perfect relationship or financial freedom that you are dreaming of? Or the health, perfect health that you want to have? Who wouldn't agree or would feel discomfort with you having it? Inhale. And with your exhale, you can open your eyes. Were you able to see the reasons in your view? Most of the time, it's not only one reason, not just appearance. Many, many different reasons why we're not able to achieve things. The parents is only, not only, but the majority that impact our reality. Not anybody in charge. And there is no fault. Mm-hmm.
So say, for instance, like I experienced kind of sadness and heartbreak when I saw my mum, and I realized that it's loyalty to her. So then you know, one knows the root, like the root cause, so then you can transform that, right? That would be the next step.
Yes. See, within the 12 week of transformation, what we do our practices. Working on that algorithms, if I'm saying it right, that holds us back from achieving what we want. Because again, going into quantum physics, this is not something our conscious creates. Conscious just logically analyze information and saying, okay, somebody in charge, that guy wasn't good, this didn't work out, etc. It's just logic that presence here, analyzing what we see. It does not create our reality. Yes, to work through that, it's going into that particular loyalty. And if it's with a relationship, it's going into the loyalty. Accepting the fact that mom could not build her life any other way. She didn't know how to. She had her drama, her growing up, her feelings of broken heart. She had problems with mom. If she got divorced, she had a relationship with mom broken, not working. Because if there would be a good relationship with her own mother, she would be able to bring that energy to build her own family. Because she didn't, all the rejection that she had toward her mom, she projected to her husband. So he kind of served as the broadcasting all her feelings that she went with her mom, broadcasting back onto her, mirroring it. So she felt the same way with him as she would feel with her mom. No any other way. She doesn't have any other experience. And then what she was doing probably most of the time, she was trying to use her own father, her own husband as getting the energy from her mom. This is too complicated. So she was projecting the feelings that she felt with her mom onto her husband and like paying him back because she couldn't do it to her mom. It's not safe. She can lose the belonging, that the mechanism that we all born with. We were born with belonging to somebody. It's a safe mechanism. If we feel that we are losing that safe mechanism with our parents, we would do anything possible in our life but feel that connection. So that's why we're not able to get back to our parents and say, you were wrong. Or as a child, we're not able to reply. We're not able to say, hey, it hurt me. Because then there is a feeling that my mom can reject me if I'm going to act this way, and I will lose that connection. Surviving mechanism turns on. She carries on those feelings and project them onto the husband because it's safe. I can lose him. Question is, what do you do? How much do you do for others? So other people would say you're a good person. How much on the scale from 1 to 10? So others would say, hey, she's a good person. You are a good person. I see you are a good person. Another question, how much do you do for yourself? From the standpoint of love yourself, self-love, self-care. From 0 to 10. If you do more from the perspective doing for people, so I feel good that they would think I'm a good person, that they validate that I'm good, then there is another issue. There is a self-love issue, which is another thing. And all my life, I'm going to do it so I would get the validation. I'm going to do good for people. I'm going to go over above and beyond, because it's kind of compensating me doing above and beyond for my parents. I never been good there. I didn't receive validation there. So I will do my best, will work overtime to receive that validation, but it's never gonna fulfill because work is not our parents. A lot of things, a lot of dynamics. I just wanted you to have a sense that your reality is only your reality, the reality that you actually create. It's your rules within what your reality been created, within which your reality been created. The rules that built in within us. The programs that we received from day one. That we will carry on and will pass down to our kids to carry on as well. Any questions? Recommendations. Oh, actually, I wanted to bring this to next week. I'm holding the 3-day retreat with the practical practices, with some transformation practices. It's a very short retreat for everybody who wants to experience what it is, for only $49, so everybody can afford it and feel what it is with that work, and actually transform some of the dynamics that you have. And by the votes, most votes that we received, the retreat will be dedicated to our finances. So we'll be working on guilt, not being able to have money. Why do I have a guilt when I have them? And it's not consciously we do it subconsciously. If I would have, I will feel guilt going back into the family because my parents didn't have, and now I have it. We'll work on some transformations over 3 days. We'll have enough time to go through as deep as we could, transforming the dynamic within the area of finances. So welcome everybody. If you want to have more information related, you can actually send me a private message or use the link to a quantum transformation group that I have in Telegram. Invite you all.
Can I ask the question that I asked at the beginning about relationship?
Yeah.
That why are you attracted to people that are not suitable and don't treat you well?
I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. This is a program that received. I'm not good enough to have somebody who will treat me well. And many reasons why. Going back into the past, why did I receive that feeling? Why did I receive that program? Why I keep creating the same reality where I feel that I need to be either betrayed or that have that toxic relationship. Because this is the only way I can either belong to my mom, loyalty my mom didn't have, and I will have the same. How was relationship with your dad, between your mom and your dad? How did she, Emily, that was your original question, right?
Yeah, the meeting you had on Instagram, right?
Yes, many reasons. Again, it's a different dynamics. All we go back into the child's, how the child felt, how the child feel connection to his own mom. If that's the experience that that child's mother felt within that relationship, that's what I'm gonna build.
I felt neglect, like that's, so I think it is because
loyalty.
I don't have loyalty. My parents, especially my mom, weren't emotionally available, so sort of neglect. So sort of
neglect is a big, you know what? Neglect is a big feeling. It's a feeling of I am not accepted. I'm not needed by this world. And every relationship would validate it.
So are we going to work on that in the 12 step?
12-week, we're gonna work on a lot of different things. Oh my goodness. Can't imagine. So many tears. We'll see you there.
Yeah. But that for me personally in the 12-week program, like I've gotten the deepest I have after all these years and years and years of therapies and modalities. This has made the most sense to me. Yeah. And change is actually starting to happen. So it's tangible.
Thank you.
What you mean? You change your
It's relevant.
perception, like sort of the child's perception, like to go back and change all these conditionings, bad.
All the subconscious patterns, programs. That's where the breakthroughs happen, you know?
Yeah, sounds great.
So it's not just perception for you to understand when the transformation happened, when the realization happened, and then step by step you're transforming, because realization is not going to change the dynamic, but it's a big step forward. It's going to change something in your life for sure. Switch that patterns from one patterns to another, and you realize you have a different life. For some reason, something different happened, things to you that never happened before. Transformation, what it does, again, it creates a new pathway. You never had that before available. And now all of a sudden, you have something that comes forward in your life. Something that you never experienced in your life. You wanted it, let's say, with the health issues. Many stuff been healed by transformation. Many stuff that medically treated. And maybe that one people have over and over and can't just get rid of it. For some reason, transformation transformed that as well. And you find yourself, oh, I had that issue and somehow it's gone. You know, happened to me. Many different issues. If it's related to a relationship, if the transformation been done different, because it's not just one session, not one transformation. Of course, if there is a pattern within a relationship, it's not one thing not going to change. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's related to how many different dynamics been within one particular event. Beliefs, replacing your mom for your mom, being mom to a mom, having somebody representing as your spot, like strong relation, your loved one, not for you physically, but within your feelings. So maybe they're like, I had the cases. Let's go back into the woman. So let's see. I had a recent case. The woman been getting divorced over time. Every relationship didn't work. So we're going into her mom. Her mom kind of had a family. She was within a relationship, so it's no loyalty. Let's see deeper. There is a loyalty to who? To grandmother. Grandmother's husband, she lost her husband because he went to a war, 1945, 1940, that particular one. And that child had such a connection with her grandmother because only grandmother validated that child, gave time, love, care to that child, accepted for who she is. Her mother was busy with her relationship. So the child grew up being so loyal to a mother, to a grandmother. So she built her life around it, being loyal, having divorced at the same time that her grandmother lost her husband. Some things, they're like, logically, you think it's like stories, you know? But from the physical perspective, when you go to quantum physics, it's so logical. It's like a formula. It's like mathematical equation. That's all. Nothing else there. So where you building that relationship over and over again, the toxic ones. So what is dynamic behind it? What is the feelings behind it? What stops you from building different relationships? It's something that would need to have a diagnostic. Again, there could be different dynamics, and we work with many different dynamics within the 12 weeks. 3 months of transformation, you can guess.
Thank you, Albina.
Thank you. And if you want the final, oh, I'm here. Somehow I jumped into different Zoom. If you want the final, let's see. Do you have any questions? I know we don't have much people here, but to what been covered. Frederick, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I've been following anyway. No questions, at least for now. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
I hope it was.
Yeah, it is very, very organized, and I know people are going to get this from the YouTube. People are going to contact you, so you're going to put your contact information there directly. They'll contact you directly, right?
Sure. If you have any questions, personal or any other questions related to any of the upcoming programs that we hold, you can actually contact me. The contact information will be below this video. Will be below this video.
Yeah, that's okay. That's right.
Thank you, everyone. It was really beautiful to connect.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to thank you all who came on this meeting and stayed with me. I want to thank you, Emily, for all your questions, and you, Revital, for your presence and questions, Frederick, for organizing. I hope it's very it was enough for you guys who watch it in recording to understand how we build this reality, because it all depends on what you actually have within your information. So you actually live your life within your own rules. And if you see that everything depends on you, and if you understand that everything that happened in your life is a result of your own choices, then you are able to make a next step and transform it. And I'm waiting for everybody who wants to try the any sessions. Contacts below of this video. Everybody who wonder what group is a quantum transformation that I have, and sometimes I do some drop there, some practices. We'll planning to do it more often for the participants as well. Some little transformation meetings and stuff, talking about certain dynamics that participant has. If you wonder how to join that group, you can also contact me and I will add you to the group. You will find more information in regards to any upcoming meetings or any upcoming programs there. Thank you so much. Love and blessings to all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.